me share the screen as well. Okay. Right. Okay. So in case if you install one more instance, again, no need to install Management Studio. Management Studio, once you install Management Studio, okay, that's fine. You can connect to the instances, other instances also. I have a question here. I have SQL Server 2012, SQL Server 2014, SQL Server 2017. I have installed SQL Server Management Studio for 18, okay, 18 version. So can I connect to the SQL Server 2012 and 14 instances in the same Management Studio?
Yes.
Okay, so the answer is yes. Tell me. Okay, that's fine. So we have a Management Studio. Imagine before SQL Server 2017, usually the Management Studio up to SQL Server 2016, you will get the Management Studio with the SQL Server software only. Okay, so once you install SQL Server, if you choose Management Tools, automatically SQL Server Management Studio will be installed. From SQL Server 2016 onwards, the Management Studio is separated. You have to install Management Studio separately. Now my question is, imagine I have SQL Server Management Studio 18. Okay, I have SQL Server Management Studio 18. So I have SQL 2012 instance, 2014 instance, 2017 instance in the machine. Now, can I connect to all the instances in the same Management Studio or not? Can I connect to the all the instances in the same Management Studio or not?
You should be able to, because at
Yes.
the end of the day, they are Management Studio, right?
Yes. So the answer is yes, we can connect to all the versions of the instances in a single Management Studio. Again, there is a logic here. Okay. So imagine, okay, up to SQL Server 2014, right? Up to SQL Server 2014. 1 minute, please. Just 1 minute. Hello.
Hello, sir.
1 minute and 1 minute, 1 minute, please. I got a call. Just 1 minute, please. I'm sorry for that. Okay, I'm really sorry. I got a delivery call. Okay, fine. Okay, so you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so yes, now let's discuss this thing. Okay, about the management studio. This is very important. ఒకటే ఒకటే. Yes. Okay. So if you see here, there is a logic. Okay. From SQL Server 2016 onwards, okay, SSMS is separated. Earlier means up to SQL Server 2014, SSMS is included in the SQL Server software. Okay. You have to simply select management tools. Okay. Management tools while installing the SQL Server. Up to SQL Server 2014, you have to simply select management tools to install the management studio. Automatically you will get the management studio, right? So we have the latest version is 18, right? 18 dot something, sorry, 18.9.1. This is the latest version of the management studio, right? So remember one thing, always you can connect to the any of the instance lower version instances. Okay, you can connect your lower version instances in the higher version management studio. Okay, very important, you can connect to the low version instances in the higher version management studio. Imagine I have SQL Server 2014 management studio. If I open 2014 management studio, in case in the same machine, if I have 2012 8 or to 2005, whatever lower version instances are there in that machine, I can connect to those instances in the higher version management studio. Is it clear or not? In the 2014 management studio, I can connect to my 2005 SQL Server. I can connect to my 2008 SQL Server. I can connect to my 2008 R2. I can connect to my 2012 and 2014. Right? In the higher version management studio, you can connect to the lower version instances. Is it clear or not? Is this point clear? In
Yep.
the higher
Clear.
version management studio, you can
Yes.
connect to the
Yes,
lower
sir.
version instances.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So now in the 2012, imagine SQL Server 2012 management studio. I opened 2012 management studio. Why? Because for 2012, 2014, okay, as SSMS is inbuilt, automatically if you install 2012, you will get 2012 SSMS. If you install 2014, you will get 2014 SSMS also. Okay, you will get 2014 SSMS also, right? So in case if I open 2012 management studio, can I connect to the 2014 server or not? In the lower version management studio, can I connect to the higher version SQL Server or not?
No.
You should.
Yes, but it is not recommended.
Okay, so the answer is okay. Yes, you can connect to the SQL Server 2014. You can connect to the SQL Server lower version instances in the higher version management studio. You can connect higher version instances in the lower version management studio. But there is a problem here. In case if you connect to the 2014 server in 2012 management studio, whatever new features are there in the 2014, those new features you cannot see in the 2012 management studio. Is it clear or not? This point is clear or not?
Yeah,
Where
but at
you,
least you should be able to connect, right?
yes, we can connect. You
Yeah.
can connect. That's
Yeah.
why I'm saying, yeah, we can connect.
Yeah.
No issues. But the
Yeah.
problem is, imagine 2008 R2 SSMS, okay, 2012 SQL Server 2008 R2 SQL Server 2012. If you open 2012 SSMS, okay, you can connect to 2008 R2 and 2012 as well. Okay, no issues. Everything will work fine. But if you open 2008 R2, okay, SSMS, still you can connect to 2008 R2 instance and the 2012 instance also. But the problem is whatever features are there in the 2012, those features you won't, it won't visible in 2008 R2 SSMS. The main feature in 2012 is always on. Always on. So if you connect to your SQL Server 2012 instance in 2008 R2 SSMS, you cannot see the always on feature. You can see the always on feature like this. Okay, this is the always on feature. Okay, you will get the error as we haven't enabled the always on as of now. So you got my point or not? In case if you connect to the SQL Server instance in the lower version Management Studio, you can connect, but the higher version features are not visible in the lower version Management Studio. Agree or not?
Yep.
Clear? Is this point clear?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Right?
yes.
So remember, sometimes what we'll do is we'll simply type SSMS in the shortcut. Okay, in case if you have 2008 or 2012, we'll simply type SSMS. You will get SSMS. You won't see whether that Management Studio belongs to 8 or 2 or 12. Simply you will try to connect to the 2012 instance, but you cannot see this always on feature, so that you will start Googling it. Okay, actually the instance is a 2012. You have to see the always on feature, but unfortunately you cannot see this feature if you connect the 2012 instance in the lower version SSMS. In the same way, if I connect 2017 in 2008 R2, I cannot see the always on availability and different poly-based feature and all. I cannot see whatever new features are there in the 2017. I cannot see in the 2008 R2 Management Studio. Clear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sir,
very
I
good.
have a doubt,
Yes,
sir.
yes, yes.
Sir, before 2016,
Hmm.
whenever SQL Server is integrations with the SSMS, right, sir?
Mm, mm, mm.
Okay. But whenever we are using that SQL Server 2012 or 2008,
Mm.
but when you open the SQL Server, it is automatically the update version of the SSMS also correct, sir. SSMS also. Now, why we should use lower version SSMS? Why we should use higher version SSMS?
No, good question. Okay, so sometimes you cannot imagine, right, whatever versions are there in the Windows server, right? I am managing thousands of servers, right? I
Okay.
cannot easily remember, okay, in the 109, which versions are installed. I cannot remember, right? So as a common practice, I'll log into the server, I'll type SSMS here. So if you type SSMS here, do you know which SSMS you will get? Actually, there is a shortcut to
Means
open
which
SSMS.
year SMSS I will get. That is okay.
Yes. I have 2012 and 2014 in the same server. Okay. In the same Windows server, I have 2012 and 2014. For up to 2014, the shortcut is SSMS. Okay. If you type SSMS, which management studio will open? 12 management studio or 14 management studio will open? Which management studio will open? If I simply type SSMS, okay, the answer is which one you install first, the SSMS shortcut will be allocated to that management studio, right? Imagine I have 2012, 2014, I have installed 2012 first. So when I type SSMS, you will get 2012 management studio. Now you tries to connect to the 2014 in the same management studio. Now you cannot see the 2014 features, right?
Okay.
Is it clear? If you
Yes.
connect
Can you
to the,
repeat?
yes, usually the shortcut for management studio is SSMS for up to SQL Server 2014. Okay.
14, yeah.
So in case if you open run and if you type SSMS, imagine you have 2012 and 2014 installed in the same Windows server. If you type SSMS, which management studio you will get?
But we can see
2012
na sir
or
version
2000?
after opening that.
No, you can see it. Yes, you can see it. But again, you can see 2012, but you cannot imagine, right? Okay, you are connecting to the 2014 instance. You cannot imagine, right? See, in the instance name, you can see like this. Okay, you can see here. Actually, it is not showing, but for the older instances, it will show you either it is a 2012 Management Studio or 2014 Management Studio. But the name, can you identify this name as it belongs to 2012 or 14? Can you easily identify the version using the SQL Server instance name?
No, sir.
No, right? It will simply tell you the
Yes, sir.
name. It won't tell you the versioner. So now, unfortunately, you have opened 12 only, but unfortunately, you connected to the 2014 server. Now you cannot see the new feature, right, in the 2012.
Yes.
Got it?
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Any questions, please, honey? Is it clear?
Now good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. So forget about it. But these are the minute things. We cannot do these mistakes. That's why we are discussing these things. Okay. Right. Why? Because sometimes if you open 2008 R2 Management Studio, you can connect to the 2012 instance, but you cannot see always on feature in the 2008 R2 Management Studio. Okay. So that is the main thing. So that's why I just want to convey the same thing, right? So we can connect to the default instance in multiple ways. Okay. I just connected to the default instance using server name. Okay. Again, if I connected in another way, okay, just click on connect button. This is the connect button and this is disconnect button. Okay. I want to disconnect it, select the instance, disconnect it. I want to connect it, select the connect button, give the server name and click on connect button. Okay. I want to connect to one more instance. Again, connect button, give the instance name. Remember, I can connect to the default instance in multiple ways. Okay. So let me discuss all the ways. You can give simple dot also. Just dot. Dot represent your computer name. Remember, dot represents your computer name. Okay. Just click on connect. Still you can connect. Don't wonder where is the server name. Actually, the server name is dot. Dot represents computer name. So instead of giving the whole computer name, you can simply give the dot to connect to the instance. Is it clear? Why? Because sometimes if you go to like if you go to the office, some people will be connected to the servers like this with a dot. Don't ask them where is the server name, then they will come to know. Okay. So that's why you have to be very careful. In case if you don't know, don't ask them directly. Okay. Just Google it first. We have a source. Just Google it first. Then if you still didn't get, take the help of any other DBS or your friends. Finally, if you don't get the things, then try to ask them. If you immediately ask them in the first session only, then they will, okay, easily identify whether you are a real or fake DBA. Okay. So that's why in case if you don't know the things, try to reach your friends or your trainer or Google it first. In case if you still unable to find the answer, then try to ask them. Some internal things you have to get to know from them only. Okay. Some things you have to get to know from trainers or Google and all. Got it? So you can connect to the default instance, only default instance, by using the dot also. Again, you can connect to the default instance using local host. Okay. One more name, local host, and you can connect to the default instance. Okay. Using local also, you have to give name like this, local in the brackets. In this way also you can connect. Now you can see here, I have 4 instances, but I have installed only one instance, right? Why I can see 4 instances here? I have installed only one instance. You can see under services.msc. Why I can see 4 instances here?
All are same instances but
Very
different
good.
name.
Very good. Excellent. Okay. I have multiple names. I have multiple names. You can call me as a Shanmukh. You can call me as a Venkat. Okay. So in the same way, you people also will have multiple names, right? Your parents will call with a different name, pet name, and your friends will call with a different name. Okay. Your relatives will call with a different name. Your official name is different. But finally, you are only the person, right? So in the same way, I have only one instance, but I have connected in 4 ways. That's it. I don't have 4 instances.
But how you connected in a 4 ways? I know for the first how you connected, then second one you connected with the dot. But
Yes.
how you got connected with the last two?
Last two, I just do some exercise and I just came to know how can we connect in multiple ways.
So you didn't show now, right?
And now see, local host is the name of the computer name.
Okay, you just type the local host and it just
Yes,
got connected.
yes.
And then you type the local and again
Yes,
you got connected.
yes.
Okay.
Both local host and local represent the computer name.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
But all got the same properties.
Same
Everything is
property.
same under. Yeah, right.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
So
right.
the same instance I have connected in 4 ways. Four
For
names I
different
gave.
ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 different names I gave. So that's why you can see 4 instances, but actually there are no 4 instances, only single instance is
They all
there.
are same.
Yeah, all are
Yeah,
same,
same.
and I have connected to the same instance with a
In a
4
different
different
ways.
names. Yes. Okay, is it clear? Any issues, any doubts?
No.
Right, very good. Okay, let me,
Would be
yes.
able to connect if we are in a normal work environment, would be able to do the same, like the same way we
Yeah,
can connect
see,
in our
you're,
office environment as
yes,
well.
you are comfortable with the computer name. Someone will comfortable with the dot. Someone will comfortable with the local host. It depends upon their comfort. Okay, so
Right.
that's why we just discussed this point. In case if you see local, you don't ask why
Yeah.
you connected, how you connected local. You cannot ask them.
Yeah. Right.
You have to
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is another name of computer name.
Yeah. Other way to connect.
Yes, other way to connect. Very good. Other way to connect. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this way we can connect to the default instance in multiple
Okay.
ways. And again, you have one more way also, that you can give IP address comma port number. Okay, by using IP address port number also we can connect to the default instance. Okay, this is how
IP address of the system, right?
IP address of the system. Yes, IP address of the system and port number.
Then how will get to know the port number?
Yes, very good question. Okay, so I'll tell you, I'll show you. Okay, I'll show you where
Yeah.
we can see the port number and all. Actually, we have installed default instance, right? So for default instance, okay, the port number will be 1433. Okay, if
Would
you
it be same
install,
for every? Would it be same for like on our work purpose as well, or it's just a
same,
different?
same. In
Okay,
case,
1430.
yes, 1433. Yes, in case this is the default port number for default instance. As people know, as it is a default port number, so there is a chance of hacking. So what people will do, they will change the default port number as well.
Okay.
Okay,
It can
but
be different from.
it can be different.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it can be different from organization to organization, but if you
Right.
don't change it, the default port number will be 1433.
Okay.
Got it? Where I can see the port number, we will have one more tool called configuration manager. Just open configuration manager in the Windows. Okay, you will get the configuration manager. Okay, once you just open configuration manager, there you can see the SQL related services. Okay, you can see the briefcase, red briefcase. Okay, just click on the configuration manager. There you can see all the port numbers, services. Okay, only SQL related services you can see here. Okay, only SQL literacy. In case you want to see the port numbers, go to network configuration, select the protocols of default instance. If you have multiple instances, protocols of default instance, protocols of named instances, you can see like this. There, go to the TCP IP, go to the properties of the TCP IP. There you can see the IP addresses. If you go down, there you can see the port number. This is how you can find out the port number 1433. Got it? This is the port number for default instance. In case if you install named instance, you will get a different port number. Dynamic port number you will get. Sometimes they will ask you to change the port number. This is how we are going to change the port number. Go to the configuration manager. Go to the protocols of specific instance. Now this is the default. Remember guys, if you install default instance, you will get the name as MS SQL Server. If you see MS SQL Server in the services, if you see MS SQL Server in the configuration manager, those services belongs to default instance. If you install named instance, you can see the name of the instance in the brackets. Clear? But for default instance, you cannot see the names of the services with computer name. Don't expect that thing. For default instance, the services will be named as MS SQL Server. For named instances, the services will be named as the instance name which you give while installing the SQL Server. In case if I install SQL 2017, in the brackets you can see SQL Server main service. In the brackets you can see the instance name SQL 2017. I install SQL Server Karthik. SQL Server in the brackets Karthik. SQL Server Honey. SQL Server Aarti. Like that, whatever name you give, you can see that name in the brackets, but only for default instance you can see MS SQL Server. Got it? In case if you install one more named instance, you can see the protocols of that named instance under this configuration, network configuration. So you have to simply double click on the TCP IP and go to the IP addresses. There you can see the port number of any instance. Is it clear? Any issues, any doubts? Clear, right? That's fine. Okay. So, right. let me disconnect all the instances. Disconnect. I have a question for all of you. If I close my management studio, my SQL server will be stopped or it will be up and running?
Up and running.
Okay. So the answer is SQL Server Management Studio is just a client. If you have a work, you can open it, connect it and work on it. If you don't have work, you can simply disconnect it. Okay. In case if you close the SQL Server Management Studio, it won't create any issue to the server. Server will be keep on up and running for 24/7 by 365 days. Then only your application will work properly. If the server is down, application can't connect to the database. If the application can't connect to the database, application will be down. There will be a huge loss for the business. Is it clear? Is it clear? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
fine.
Yes.
Good. Okay. So this is how we are going to these are all the objects we are going to call everything as an object in the SQL server. You can see under the instance name. This is the instance name. This is the version you can identify and you can see who is connected to the instance. If you expand, we have connected to this instance using administrator connection. Okay. The three parts you can see under the name. Under the name, you can see other objects like databases, security, server objects, replication, polybase, always on management, integration, agent, profiler. So these are all different objects under the same instance. If you install one more instance, you can again see all these objects. Clear? Right. Now I want to write a query. I want to find out the version of the SQL Server. How to find out the version of the SQL Server? I want to write one query. How to write a query? You can open the query window to write the queries. You can open query window in multiple ways. One is just simply select the instance name, Control N. Okay, will give you the query window. That is one way. The second way is select the instance name, click on new query. This is another way of opening query window. Third way is right click on the instance, select new query. This is another way of opening the query window. Okay, in multiple ways you can open the query window, your own wish. Okay, shortcut is Control N, or else you can select new query, or else you can right click on the instance, you can go for a new query. Remember guys, this is called a session. Okay, this is called a session. Okay, this is one session. You can see the session ID in the brackets. 55 is the session ID. For this 57 is the session ID. For this 54 is the session ID. You can open multiple sessions from one SQL server. You can open multiple sessions. Okay, how many sessions you want? You can open multiple sessions. Multiple people will connect, right? Multiple people will work. Okay, now I want to find out the edition of the SQL server or version of the SQL server. How to find out the version or edition of the SQL server? There is a query for that. The query is select at version. Okay, if you run select at version, if you type the query like this, okay, then you will get some suggestions. Select from the suggestions, drop down suggestions. Then you can see this is the query. Okay, right. Now I want to execute the query. How to execute the query?
Top button execute.
Yes, very good. You can go with the execute button before execute. Okay, before execute, can you please mute it? Can you please mute it if you don't have questions? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, right. So okay, that's fine. Okay, in case you want to tell answer, just unmute and let me know. Okay, right now I want to execute the query. Again, for executing query we have multiple ways. One is you can go and click the execute button. Okay, and there is a shortcut keys also. You can go with alt plus X. Alt plus X, this is the key combination. Or you can go with the F5 function keys, F5. Either you can go with the execute button, or you can go with the alt X button, or you can go with the F5 button as well. Okay, so I want to select this query. In case, remember, in case I want to execute this query, no need to select. Only one query is there, right, in the window. You can simply execute it. Okay. Sometimes you will have a big scripts and all. You want to execute the whole script. No need to select the whole script. Simply click on the execute button. Automatically, whatever queries are there in that particular query window, all queries will be executed. Now I'll execute through alt X button. Now I just run alt X. Before executing, you have one button called parse button. Parse button will help you to find out the, okay, whether your query is right or wrong. Okay, so imagine now I typed the query like this. Okay, select edit version. Okay, now if I hit the parse button, it will tell you whether your query is right or wrong. Must declare the scalar value. It won't tell you you just missed I. It won't tell you like that. Not baby steps. It will simply tell you whether the query is right or wrong. That's it. Okay, it was unable to identify the version. Okay, actual the version spelling is different and this version is different. So it is simply saying must declare the scalar variable. And again, you can in another way also you can find out the errors. Okay, if you give the wrong command, you can see red mark here. Under this, you can see a red mark here. That is another way of identifying whether you are giving correct command or not. Okay, syntax and semantic errors will be find out using a parse button. Syntax and semantic. What is syntax and semantic error? Syntax means if you type the wrong word, okay, that is called syntax error. What is meant by semantic error? Semantic means, imagine I have created a table in the one database. Imagine if you see here, these are the system databases: master, model, MSDB, TempDB. Each database will have its own tables. I have created a table in the master database. Okay, but I am running my query on the model database. Actually, the table is there in the master, but you are searching the table in the model. That means the table doesn't existed in the model, right? In case if the table or objects doesn't existed, then also you will get semantic errors. Syntax errors means if the spelling mistake is there or if the query is wrong, that is syntax error. Semantic error means in case the objects are not found or objects are not created, that is called your, okay. Now if you see, select star from, okay, employee. Actually, this is how we are going to pull the table, okay, employee table. Okay, pull the records of the employee table. Now if I run this query, I'll get the error. Okay, this is called semantic error. Why? Actually, there is no employee table created in any of the database. If you don't have objects, then that is semantic error. If the query is wrong, that is called syntax error. You can see the error here. Okay, but actually the spelling mistake is not wrong. The spelling is not wrong. Okay, it is correct only, but still you can see the red mark here. Why you can see the red mark here? There are two reasons. One is either the object is not existed, or else you are not giving the proper object name. Is it clear? Any issues, any doubts? Please.
But sir, in this situation, we can assume this one is syntax error and semantic error. Both also we can assume, na sir?
Yes, yes, you can assume it. Okay, in this you see semantic error, syntax error means you can easily identify the syntax error, right? But
Right.
semantic error
Syntax
means
error we can easily identify.
easily identify with the
Semantic
help of
error,
yes. Semantic error means simply you have to know that the object is doesn't existed, or maybe the object is not belongs to that particular database. Remember guys, every query will run on one database. You can select the database here. I want to run queries on model database. You can select from the data drop down. I want to run queries on MSDB. You can select from the drop down. I want to run queries from the TempDB. You can either select here. We have a query for that. Okay. Use database name. See here, currently it is showing TempDB, right? In case if I want to change the TempDB to master, you can change in two ways. One is like this, which is GUI mode, or else one is another way is query mode. You can use query, use master. Okay, and if you run it and see here, the connection will be changed to master now. And if you see here, master is changed. Okay, this is how we are going to change the database. Remember, every query should run on any database. Should run on any database. Okay, every query should run on any database. Any database means, say for example, employee table is created in some other database, MSDB or TempDB or, okay, model database. Okay, but if you want to pull the details of employee table, first of all you have to select the database, in which database the table existed. You have to select it, and then you have to run this query. Otherwise you will get the error as object not existed, invalid object. Is it clear? Any doubts, please?
Sir, is there any way, is the employee table is existing in the master data, model data, or MSDB data? How
Yeah,
do
yeah,
we
yeah,
find,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
should
yeah.
we,
You
should we
can,
check each scenario?
yes, you can create that table, same table in multiple databases, no issues. Okay, the
But
meeting is going to
would,
close now. Yes, yes.
yeah, it would work with the cross queries, right?
Yes, yes, yes. It will work with the cross queries. I'll tell you how to
Okay.
go with the cross queries and all.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So the meeting is going to close now. Let me reopen the meeting. Okay, so we'll discuss for 5 to 10 minutes, then we'll close the session. Okay.